series coming up and you don't have time to waste, this video is for you. These 5 math questions either always show up or trick most test takers. I'm not just solving them, I'm going through each of them and showing how to think through them. Let's get into it.
Okay, this is the first question and you can do it in 2 ways. I'm going to explain both, but I would recommend the second one. But first I'll do the one that I think is the most normal one. We can see the values of x and f of x is given. And from here, we can tell that the power of a is changing. So we can tell that the equation is in the power of a. So from that, we'll make an equation that is f of x is equals to a to the power mx plus b, which is a standard equation of a line. And since the values are given, we'll make up a few more equations. So we'll say f of 1 is equals to a to the power m 1 plus b, and that implies a is equals to a to the power m plus b, and since that is 1, we'll get m plus b is equals to 1. That's the first equation. Now the second equation will be a to the power 5 is equals to a to the power 2m plus b, and that implies 2m plus b is equals to 5. Since there are only 2 variables, we only need 2 equations. That's the first one, that's the second one. We'll solve it to get the answer. So from the first equation, we can imply that m is equals to 1 minus b. We put that in the second equation, we get 2. 1 minus b plus b is equals to 5. That implies 2 minus 2b plus b is equals to 5. And that is minus b is equals to 5 minus 2, which is 3. So minus b is equals to 3, and that implies b is equals to minus 3. And put that in the first equation, we get m is equals to 4. Now we have the equation f of x is equals to a to the power 4x minus 3. We put the value of k, f of k is equals to a to the power 29, and we get a to the power 4k minus 3 is equals to a to the power 29, which implies 4k minus 3 is equals to 29, and that means k is equals to 29 plus 3 divided by 4, which is 32 divided by 4, and the answer is 8. So we get k is equals to 8, which is the answer. Now I'll do the second way, which I recommend. It's much easier, much faster. Do that. So from the table, we can see that the power of a is changing by 4. So from 1 plus 4 is 5, 5 plus 4 is 9. So we can use that to make another equation that will help us out a lot. So we already have 1. So we'll add 4 to the power n. We don't know what n is. You can take any other variable, and that is equal to 29. So that means 4n is equals to 28. That implies n is equals to 7. So what we can say is that 7 jumps from 1, since the first a has power 1. So that implies 1 plus 7 jumps is equals to 29. So we know that k value is 8, since it means 8 jumps have happened. So the answer is k is equals to 8, which we got from the first way too. Okay, now the second question. It isn't the hardest, but it is pretty confusing, so I'll do it so you guys can succeed, Okay, so I'll just say items is I. So 37% of I are G, 37% of G are R, and 42% of R are M. We know 37% is 37 by 100. So now I'll just write down the equation so it helps us. 37 by 100 of I is G, 37 by 100 of G is R, and 42 by 100 of R is M. Now we have got these equations and we'll use them to find out the answer. Okay. Now the question is asking us for the items that are not rectangular green metal items. So what is not M? We have to find out. Now from the equations, we can tell that 42 by 100 of R, which is 37 by 100 of G, since R is equal to that, is M. And then 42 by 100 of 37 by 100 of 37 by 100 of I, which is G, is equals to M. And put that in the calculator and you'll get around 0.057498 I, which is equal to M. So that is what M is. Now we have to find what is not M, right? So we have to minus 1 minus 0.057498i, which is equal to not m. We just subtracted it and we'll get what we wanted. And put that in the calculator and you'll get 0.942502, which is equals to 9m. Sorry, that's I because that's the percentage of not m. And now since they're asking for actual percentage, what we'll do is write our answer divided by the original thing, which is I, multiplied by 100, and that is x percentage. I'm just taking x, but that's the answer. So you get 94.2502, and that's the answer. The closest option we can see here is C, so that's the answer. Now the third question. The best way to do is by visualizing it, so I'll recommend draw it in your question paper too, or whatever, rough copy, whatever you have. And we can see from the question that there are two right angles where T is the right angle, RS, L is between RS, and K is between TS. RT is 72, LK is 24. And the area is 792. So from that we can say half into base into height is 792. And here we know what RT is and we can find out TS. So TS multiplied by 72 is 792 multiplied by 2. And TS is equal to, put that in the calculator, we get 1584 divided by 72, which is equal to 22. Okay. Now we'll use the similarity of triangles and you must know this. So we get RT by LK is equals to TS by KS, right? We know 3 of those values, so we'll put that there and find out KS. Okay, so we get 72 by 24 is equals to 22 by KS. Do the calculation, you'll get KS is equals to about, I'll put that in the calculator again and find out it's 7.333, around that. Now we know that KT is equals to TS minus KS, which is about 14.67, and that is basically our answer. Okay, now the fourth question, not the hardest but can be confusing, so I'll do it for you. Now on the question we can say 8 per hour for the first 10 hours, which is equal to 80, and then it's raised to $10 per hour for the rest of the week. So we'll take x, since we don't know how many hours, so we'll get 10x plus 80 is his earnings, right? That's what the question says. Now it says that he saves 90% of his earnings. So 90 by 100 of his earnings, that is 10x plus 80, is equals to his savings, right? And from there we can say, since the question mentions that savings has to be at least $270, right? So the sign would be greater than equal to, right? So 9 by 10, since I cancelled the zeros, we'll get 10x plus 80 is equals, not equals, greater than equals to 270, and then we'll take 10 common, we get 10, and the 9 was already there, and we get x plus 8 greater than equal to 2700, since I took the 10 to the other side, and we get x plus 8 is greater than equal to 2700 divided by 90, and we get x plus 8 is greater than equal to 30, right? You just calculate it and you'll get that. And then x is greater than equal to 30 minus 8, which is equal to 22. And we can see that option C is right. Okay, now the last but not the least question. We can see the equation and we'll map it out according to the question. That is x squared minus c divided by x minus b is equals to x plus b. That implies x squared minus c is equals to x plus b multiplied by x minus b. I just took it there. And then you get x squared minus c is equals to x squared minus b squared. That's the identity. I hope you know that. And then you get minus c is equals to minus b squared. You cancel out the minus and you get c is equals to b squared. and that implies b is equal to root over c. Since the question says that b is an integer, c has to be a perfect root, right? So from the options we can see only a is a perfect square, and that's the answer.
If this helped you out at all, please let me know in the comments. If you guys want another part with a few more questions that I feel are harder than the rest or can trick some test takers, I'll be happy to make it this week. And good luck, stay sharp.